Welcome to this Sunday afternoon post-game reaction. I am your host, Berto, host of the 95 North Sports Machine. I got my guys, Smooth Smitty and Chris Tipmore, but we have two very special guests. We got Cameron Farmer and Mark Southern Spotlight. Cameron Farmer, a TikTok phenomenon, man. Make sure you go and search his work, man. Real intellectual and punctual kid, man. You're entertained. You'll be entertained by what he has to say on everything football. He has you covered NBA, NFL, and Mark Southern Light Spotlight, man. What's going on? I know your partner's not here today. I know you guys you're a duo there, but man, shout out to you, gentlemen. How did you guys like the game today, man? Did you guys have you guys are young, man, but no blood pressure pills in sight, right? Leave that for us older guys.
Yeah, y'all older guys.
Yeah.
Shut up, Chris.
First of all, it's a pleasure being on here, Berto. I appreciate you, man, for having me on. Thinking enough of me to be on with you, Smitty and Tip. Pleasure to meet you as well, Mark. But to be honest, to answer your question, Berto, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but my blood pressure was kind of, it was getting up there. Obviously, I made a point last week, on my podcast where I said that there are going to be times where the offense, the predication of a football game won't be, it won't be on how well the offense produces. It will be how well the defense performs. And as much as there needs to be changes made, clearly, regarding the philosophy of Jimmy Lake and the rest of the defensive staff, the pressure rate, I did see that our D line was pressuring Baker. And one thing that really caught my attention was the fact that Kirko was running the ball. He had a 13-yard scramble and a whole QB sneak. And I ain't even going to hold you. When everybody was saying that, Kirk can't run the ball anymore out of fear he's going to injure his Achilles again, which is totally normal, man. I ain't even going to lie, bro. The whole league is in trouble. You got Kirk doing a 13-yard scramble that Carson Beck, who was 22, 21, doing in any aspect of a football game. And when Kirk is doing it when it matters the most, you really can't. It's hard to count out a team where a quarterback of Kirk Cousins' stature is running the football and doing sneak at the same time. Something that I haven't seen in a minute.
You're right. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, well, just real quick, just to Cameron's point. What the heck was that week 3? Whatever. Go ahead, Mark.
Man, all I gotta say is, we walk into your trap, we take over your trap.
There we go.
It ain't Kirko chains today, boy. It's Kirko wheels, boy. It's Kirko wheels.
But them wheels had some lumps in them, but they got down the road.
MW, what's up? Yeah,
man. But like my takeover to the game is like me and my partner Golden, we expected the Falcons offense to do what they were going to do today. Just a terrible offense performance last week. And let's be honest, the Bucs secondary is god awful. I just think their secondary is just trash. So I thought it was going to be a good first half from Kirk Cousins. And like we saw, fed the ball to Darnell Mooney. Good to see him get the ball this week. And then we got to see, Kyle Pitts involved, even though he bought sodas, y'all. He bought sodas. So it was a good performance from the offensive side. But, I mean, let's be honest, guys. What is this defense without Jesse Bates? What is this defense without the secondary? I'll put in A.J. Terrell today because A.J. Terrell had a good game today. I mean, I know we get on A.J. a lot. But what is this defense without the secondary? Because the defensive lineman, I mean, I know you said we got some, we got to the quarterback a little bit. We've seen that in the last couple weeks, but they're just not finishing. They're not finishing. And like we just need to make a trade because I'm telling you, with the games we have coming up soon, it's going to come and bite us. It's going to bite us. So what are the Falcons going to do? Hey, but I'm not going to complain because we're 5-3 in the last few years. What have we been? 4-4, 3-5. There's been a lot of years where we have not been over 500 in this scenario. So it's good to see.
Wonderful.
I agree with DA that Achilles show ain't hurt no more. That's all. He got confidence in it.
Man, he was comfortable back there, man.
Man, you got to give a shout out to Kirk Cousins. He's really controlling his offense. He's the one helping Zach Robinson along because some of the play calling they're calling during certain parts of the game. It seems like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, they have problems I don't understand. You have a 240-pound running back or a shifty 225-pound running back, Why the hell you run up the middle? Run to the outside. You know they can't stop you going to the sideline. That's just common sense. So again, he had a pretty good game, passing 4 touchdowns. But again, Kyle Pitts, pretty good game, and y'all saw it the second half. He didn't pretty much play the second half, all because of that bonehead mistake that he made. You're gonna cost your team one of these days, bro. I'm telling you, because we all know, and I don't even play football. I just study football. I know to run all the way through the play until you cross the goal line. Common sense. Stop showboating. You haven't done anything. So look, yeah.
That was a touchback too, fellas. God shined on us today.
Yeah,
we can't
argue on him. You know what? On National Tight End Day, he showed up and showed out, man. The last time he had any significant yard outputage was what, week 16 of 2021, where he broke over 100 yards. That's the last time, honestly, Kyle Pitts has done anything significant. So having two touchdowns today, man, yeah, it was a step in the right direction. But yeah, Jay Black mentioned this, man. He called a bad series on that last possession. Sure, but we can't hark on him as that much. We actually have to give him his flowers, because Zach Robinson has really, matured in the NFL in this regard. He's a first-year play caller, but he's gotten better week in and week out. Sure, there's going to be some hiccups along the way, but, man, his hiccups have been far and few in between. You can go back to the Kansas City game. Yeah, there was some iffy play calls in that one, and even in this game today. But other than that, man, I love the trajectory and where Zach Robinson is going to lead this Falcons offense. The Falcons offense is a respected offense around the league thus far, man. They showed a good balance a couple weeks back, man, with Tyler and Bijan. But now they're showing the knack that, hey, listen, if you sleep on us, we're going to utilize another weapon, and that's Kyle Pitts, and he was utilized today. But to Smitty's point, that bonehead mistake probably cost him the third and fourth quarter of this game, because he didn't play in the third and fourth quarter. After halftime, it was done. He was done for. Now, was it that? Was it an injury? We don't know. But needless to say, man, Zach Robinson, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of this young offensive play caller. What about you guys, man?
I'm not even gonna lie. I do have a question. Was Zach Robinson? He was on Coach McVay's staff, right? When they won this.
Right. Yeah. Right.
We're seeing the fruits of the labor right there. I mean, he knows how to win when it matters the most, even with Kyle Pitts being sidelined. Like, you still utilize the pieces that you have. And I don't know. I don't remember who said it. It may have been Smitty or Tip or I forgot his name. I apologize. But I saw how I saw how the offense, when I seen Kyle Pitts have those 2 touchdowns, I'm thinking, because I mentioned when they played Carolina, I was like, Kyle Pitts hadn't even had his best game of the season yet, or of his career. So the fact that Kyle Pitts hasn't, up until this point, hasn't really, I mean, he's made key plays in a lot of the games that were played, but I was waiting for Kyle Pitts. I'm like, if Kyle Pitts would have a great game, why can't it be this game? I mean, obviously, you hate to see Mike Evans out. You hate to see Chris Godwin out for the year. So, but that doesn't mean we're not going to take it easy on y'all, right? We coming for blood. And Tampa Bay's running back room, I'm amazed at how Coach Robinson truly.
Yeah, it's about to mention.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm amazed how he called those plays, and the running back room of Tampa Bay. Even though, Baker was short on receivers, with the standard of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and what they bring, but it was Bucky Irving and Rashad White. Like, those guys were, I mean, up until today, those were legit dudes. So I didn't expect Atlanta to be in a cakewalk with Tampa Bay, because at the end of the day, as much as Atlanta has been praised for their offense, right, throughout the entire season, Tampa Bay, before Godwin and Evans, went out, you could make a legitimate case for Tampa Bay to win the division.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Coming into the game, remember I was saying in the pregame, the last 3 games, this running back trio averaged racked up over 562 yards in the last 3 weeks. Today, just those 3 running backs today, they didn't even get over 70 yards. So I mean, all together, you had Bucky Irvin, Rashad White, Jalen McMillan, Baker Mayfield, Tucker, and Thomas all trying to run the ball, and they only got 102 yards. So I ain't gonna lie, I give the defense their props on that, because that was one thing that you had to do, was to stop their run game. Yeah, Baker had over 330 passing yards, but he also had 2 crucial picks. That's another thing that we have to look at this game as well, was turnovers. Turnovers, because I mean, it wasn't like Tampa Bay was having a bad game necessarily. I mean, they were 9 for 14 on third down. They had more first downs. They had the time of possession, but those turnovers, the fact that we got those interceptions and were able to take the ball away, take possessions away, and create opportunities for ourselves is another thing that got us this victory, y'all.
Well, how much of that is on the playmaker's ability versus what Jimmy is calling? Because right now, what Jimmy's trotting out on defense is hot trash. That shit is absolute trash.
That's actually the veterans taking over.
Say it with your chest, Birdo. Dang.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
It's getting sickening. You know why? Because for all the clamoring that folks are saying, oh, we're a 3-4 defense, ladies and gentlemen. No, we're not. In a 3-4 defense, you don't have the most important piece that operates a 3-4, and that's your nose tackle, your prototypical nose tackle. Excuse me. We're built more as a 4-3 defense,
right?
Point blank. Period. We're running the 3-4 and variations out of it. Shit, you can do the same thing out of a 4-3 and run similar variations of other styles and coverages and disguises. Get away from the 3-4, because that's really hurting us right now. It really is, man. And until Jimmy Lake wakes up, or Raheem is a little stubborn now. Don't get it twisted. He's a little stubborn in his coaching ways. He needs to have that long sit down with Jimmy and say, brother, I brought you in. I thought you were going to try out something better. You have to be better. If not, I don't see Jimmy Lake calling the defense past the bye week, man. You have to strip him of his duties.
And I think Jerry Gray has to speak up as well, because he's the assistant head coach. Yeah. Like I said on my reaction video, you talk about a guy that's been in coaching in the NFL for 30 years. He knows a lot more than Jimmy Lake knows. And as I said before, my boy Ryan, the historian, we both been talking about this, man. What did he show you in college at Washington that he could come in and coach in the NFL?
Nothing.
Michael Penix and those receivers led that team. So it's showing right now. So again, going forward, let him take a back seat and learn. Put Jerry Gray in the defensive coordinator position, and you pick out which direction you're going to go after the season, because I guarantee you Robert Saleh is going to be available as a defensive coordinator when the season ends. So now you have an option. You have a backup in Jerry Gray as an option to bring in as a play caller. So that's a plus. So I suggest you use it.
Fellas, I'm going to be real with y'all. Ain't no changes coming. Changes are coming. It's still going to be Jimmy's defense. He's still going to run it. We're still going to run things Jimmy's way. Only thing we can hope and pray for is that Raheem just really gets fed up, or something happens to where the points were just like, bro, I have to take this over. Until then, as long as we're winning, nothing will change.
Or if there's a trade, though. I mean, if they get a pass rush, I think this defense would be a little bit better. I mean, like we talked about it last week, for this defense to work, you have to have a pass rush. Because honestly, the secondary is going to make some plays. They're going to make some plays to bail you out. But what happens if our defensive lineman gets to the quarterback? We're talking a whole different story right now. You know what I mean? But we don't have it. All right, we don't have that defensive line to help out Matthew Judon right now. Because Chris, you hit on it last week. Where's Ebiketie right now, bro? Like he's not there, right? We expected a whole different type of outcome from Ebiketie, Lorenzo Carter. Don't get me started on that. We expected a whole different story, y'all, and we're not getting it. But I wanted to talk about Zach Robinson. Like, I just want to get on it because I know all the people in the chat are kind of hurt from last year and all the years before with Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota. Like, the maturity from Zach Robinson is actually like insane to watch, because I mean, we look at week 1, we were all complaining about that little pistol offense they stayed in and Kirk's not under center. I know you guys talked about that, but like, it's just, you see so many different formations that they're running now, and the chemistry between him and Kirk, it is working right now, y'all. It's working. It's exciting to see. But, you know, what are we going to do weeks from now? What are we going to do weeks from now? Are we going to continue to improve? I believe we are. I believe that we're going to continue to score a lot, but we're going to keep on going to that story with that defense, y'all. We're going to keep on talking about that defense. Are they going to be able to make some plays? Because, guys, when we get to the playoff time, we're not going to be able to rely on Kirk Cousins. We're not going to be able to. I'm going to tell you this. He is not going to win you games like that, because what has he done in his whole entire career? He has not won his team playoff games. So the defense is going to have to help him out. If you put him in a situation, then maybe he is going to win a game. But they got to make a trade.
And let me say this right quick.
It's all
I
about
agree. I agree with what you said, Mark. And one thing that happened this week, and it pissed me off when somebody asked about D'Angelo Malone. He got Coach Lake got kind of arrogant, saying when he made plays on the practice field, he'll get in the game. Okay,
right.
If you having problem getting out to the quarterback, how can you make a statement like that? You put him on the field, see what he has. If he passes the test, he gets more snaps. If not, he just stays on the bench. I mean, come on. I mean, He plays special teams, true enough. But we talk about a guy that runs a 4.4 as an outside linebacker, had 32 sacks in college, and you have 5 sacks in, 7 games? 8 games?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. You can't be doing that.
Falcons linebackers struggle in coverage. Why not put D'Angelo as a linebacker or middle linebacker?
Thank you.
If he
middle linebacker, some
anything. Just get him on the field, anywhere on that line. Get him on the field and see what you have. It goes back to our preview again, seeing what you have. Dorless, another healthy scratch. I'm starting to get worried, Berto. I'm starting to get worried. But, you know what I'm saying, healthy scratch. Then you lose Rook today with the ankle injury. We're still waiting to hear word back from that. But I seen the play. Richie Grant kind of like dove into his leg when he was trying to make a play, and it kind of hyperextended. So hopefully Rook is going to be okay, because you know he was going to be a force moving forward for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Gosh, Lee, man. Again, we can talk about this defense. I'm gonna give a shout out real quick to one of my X factors from the preview as well, which is AJ Terrell. Hey, man, shout out to you, big dog.
He can catch.
I'm really happy that AJ, you know what I'm saying, actually did his job all the way through. He read the play, he reacted, he didn't fall for it. He looked at Baker staring down that receiver, took it away. Thank you, AJ. So and you got you some get back from that DK situation. You know what I'm saying, at least so you made plays in this game. So shout out to AJ Terrell as well. Jimmy Lake, I just need to see more from you. I'm telling you, ain't nothing gonna change. So that's why I just need to see more from Jimmy. I don't see nobody taking no job from him. I just don't see it. Hopefully I'm wrong. Please prove me wrong. Please.
I want you to be wrong, man, because there needs to be a change, because what's gonna happen is like Jimmy Lake's gonna go on the weekly press conference, and you know what he's gonna say? He's gonna say, we're so close. We're so close. And like y'all said, when the playoffs come, we cannot keep relying on Kirk Cousins to run a 13-yard scramble at the end of the game. Now, when I was growing up as a kid, I was a church boy, right? I'm a church boy. I grew up as a kid, and one of the preachers, they always talked about you've been led astray, run amok, bamboo, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So when we get guys like Matt Judon, when we get guys like Justin Simmons, who, by the way, has been more productive than Matt Judon has this entire season. Now, and I do believe, I think I saw one of the comments under here where it said that if Justin Simmons played today, Baker's numbers would have looked different. You know what I'm saying?
That's correct.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I personally feel that even though there needs to be a change, I really want you to be wrong, because there drastically does need to be a change. But I do think it's important to and I think I saw another comment where it said that it felt like, Coach Morris was getting all the bad credit for the defense. And I don't think that's really fair. Now, obviously, Coach Morris wanted Jimmy Lake for a reason. But I think Coach Morris owes it to Jimmy to have that discussion. If the defense isn't where they are supposed to be within the next few weeks, because we got Dallas next week, right? Can't overlook that game, because even though they're going through some things over there on that side, you still can't overlook that game. But I do want to stress that we now granted we give credit to the QB pressure today, specifically in the last few minutes of the game. But we need a pass rusher desperately, because if we do not, that could have severe implications on our playoff run and playoff hopes.
I'll say this, Smitty and Berto. Yeah. What do you think this pass rush would be like with Braylon Trice playing right now? What do y'all think it would be?
I think
Braylon Trice was on his way to like etching a real serious role within this Falcons pass rush unit. You know, he was playing phenomenal in training camp, and it's just so unfortunate that he went down. He would have been part of a rotation, but by now he probably would have been that guy to get the steady snaps, you know, as a presence. This is one guy that led all, you know, but actually he didn't lead. He was one of the guys that was the most pressured edge presences in NCAA, had more pressures than Lateu Latu, who went 15th overall to the Indianapolis Colts. So we gotta wait and see on what that young man can do. But yeah, if he was not injured, of course, and he was available this season, that's easy a 5 to 8 sack guy as we speak. I think so highly of him. He has a great motor, man. But yeah, unfortunately, Rook went out in this game, and somebody had asked in the chat too, is this time to, you know, activate Brandon Dorless? I think by default you have to now. I don't know what it is that Raheem and company are doing, bringing him along. I don't know what that looks like. I don't even know what that
means.
You know, this line desperately needs, you know, another go-getter. Rook was showing a lot of signs until he went down today, and they were lining him up exclusively right next to Grady. That's the pass rush that was getting home on more times than not, when both of those gentlemen were aligned on the same side, whether that be the right or the left side, man. But Brandon Dorless, let's see what he can add. I mean, he's probably going to be active against Dallas, and Dallas's O-line is just big. They're not the old Dallas line that is big and dominant. So who knows? Maybe, you know, Dorless being active next week could be the game that, you know, inspires him in his play the rest of the year. But something definitely has to give, man. And I see a lot of folks saying, you know, we got to trade for the Myles Garrett and things like that. I just don't think that's the move the Falcons need to do.
Darius.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Darius.
Yeah.
The Darius thinking about? I'm just saying
it really ain't got to be no big name.
Guard the flat too.
Yeah.
It really ain't got to be a big name. It's just somebody that can get to the quarterback. That's it. It ain't got to be no big name, because I understand giving up those first round picks for those big name guys, but we traded a third rounder for Matthew Judon. So that's one pick we lost, and we got to recoup picks. So if they make a pick, they're going to have to try to, and what they're probably doing is trying to make a future pick in 2026, because they're going to have to trade back in next year's draft to recoup the picks that they lost. So they put themselves in a tough spot, and for them not to be getting to the quarterback, it's looking even worse. So that's not going to be an option. I hate to see it.
And for those wondering why Judon is not as effective in this Falcon scheme, first is the scheme. Point blank period. It's the scheme. I oppose any DC that ever trots out their edge presences and drops them into coverage. I hate that. You know, you're a team that can't get after it, but you drop what can possibly get after the quarterback into coverage. Like I see more times than not, AK and Judon today dropping in coverage. What the hell is that?
Yeah, that was a dangerous play on that sideline with Rashad White.
Man,
Rashad White catches that in stride. He is gone. Do you understand?
That's gone. That's 7. That's an easy 7. And who was the recipient? Would have been the recipient on that? Matt Judon. But for those wondering, Matt Judon comes from that 3-4 staple that New England ran. But what did New England have? Devin Garcho and Christian Barrymore, 2 nose tackle presents that were dominant. Yeah. That's why it
same worked. Same thing in Baltimore. Yeah,
same thing in Baltimore. Front. Michael Pierce and Justin Matabuke. That's how you run a traditional 3-4. I'm sorry, man. Scheme has to change in order for us to reap any benefit or have the 3rd round pick that we give up for Matt Judon worth any while. So yeah, maybe if we do, we see more glimpses of AK and Judon screaming off the edge than what we are right now. Although they are doing it, it's just so easy for them to get, swallowed up in these blocks because we don't have anybody that can collapse the pocket. So it just makes it easy to one-on-one with Grady, one-on-one with David, and double the bookends if they wanted to. So, yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
and my thing is, if you have Grady Jarrett and David Onyemata, who are 4-3 nose defensive tackles, you try to switch into a hybrid 4-3 type defense to better fit what they do. So until, like I said, it's just simple thing that he has to figure out. Personnel he has to figure out. Rotation he has to figure out. And Richie Grant, he's the same Richie Grant.
Oh, my bad.
So look, personnel is everything, man. So I understand Justin Simmons needed a week off because of his hamstring, but I guarantee you if he plays this game, it's not even close to what it was.
Bro, Richie Grant. Okay, real quick, fellas. We are all, and I feel like, extraordinary gentlemen up here. Can we go ahead and just say it is safe to say that at the end of the season, we will not have Richie Grant on this team?
Yeah,
bro.
He needs to just listen. I feel bad for Micah Abernathy, who was lost. So I think he was lost for the season. I would much rather have him see him start today's game than Richie Grant. Richie Grant was just Richie Granting out there, just lost in coverage, lost in space. Oh man, it was just bad. Shout out Carrie, what's going on? She was at the game. Shout out to you, Carrie.
Yeah. Shout out Carrie, man.
At the game.
Yeah. Really not happy with Jimmy Lee, how he's running the defense, and I don't like his complacency.
Yeah,
hey, 100%, man.
Hey, y'all seen that meme of Adrian Brody where he's like in the interview and he's talking about, man, I'm getting cooked,
Yeah.
Adrian
Broner, that was Adrian Broner, the boxer. He was like, man, I'm getting cooked.
Cooked, man.
Shit, man.
What are we gonna have some moves? Baker, did y'all notice y'all seeing more and more of JD Bertrand? Have y'all noticed that?
I noticed that today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he was out there like a heat-seeking missile too.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Aiden Ellis did go down. He did go down for a little bit, so those snaps probably were right around the line, along the lines when he was out. Talking
about Caden Ellis.
Caden Ellis was out for a little bit.
I'm talking about before Caden even went down. He was still getting inserted out there.
They were having before then.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, all right. They kind of all look the same as a trio.
Yeah, I saw him out there flying around, but
I give you that, bro. They do.
Again, this is why I said if you have somebody as a linebacker like a JD Bertrand who's good against the run, you got to think about switching to a hybrid 4-3 to better fit this defense because and if that doesn't work, when Justin Simmons comes back, and even though Richard Grant had a bad game today, he plays better in the slot. Use him in the slot. It helps to run. It helps against the run. You're still giving up 130 some yards a game running the football against the run.
Not today.
Switch it up. Well, not today.
Hey, today, man, I'm gonna give them their credit when it's true, man. They held up today on that run defense, and they made Baker them one-dimensional. If they had made them have to pass.
And one thing is numbers, like I said, sometimes numbers inflated because he threw the ball 45 times today.
Yeah, like
he was
3 times.
Yeah, he was supposed to get 300 yards. Anytime you throw over 35 times, that's 300 yards automatically. So I mean, so they did what they were supposed to do, and they stopped the run today. Okay, so he had 50 throws today. So he should have had over 300 yards. So I mean, come on, you got just got to put together a complete game on defense, point blank, period.
Yeah, man, even Des Ridder getting 300 yards, throwing 50 attempts, man.
Exactly.
I don't know. I kind of want to put that to the test. I don't know. Nah, man. Hey, man, I hope Dez has flourishes in his new NFL role, man, whatever it is. It just didn't work out here. So, I mean, I don't wish bad for the guy. It didn't work out here, and that's just point blank period at the end of the day.
This is a key point right here by Beasley's. Landman lost his mojo, and you can kind of see that. I think the Falcons. Did the Falcons rush him to come back? I mean, because we're still getting beat down on run on run defense. We thought that he could have been the cure to that, man, but it hasn't worked out that way. Has Landman lost a step? Did the Falcons rush him back? If that's the case, man, hey, listen, man, we got a guy that led the team in tackle just 2-3 years ago in Rashaan Evans. Why not activate him? He was the leading tackler for this team, 2 years in a row. Bring him in, start him, spot start him, and see if he can ignite something in this run defense, because clearly right now, Landman or Ellis are getting it done, man.
Here's a thought. Do you think maybe his conditioning, just because he hasn't been in the NFL lately, do you think that may be playing a part in it, why he hasn't been trotted out there yet? Anybody, man.
That could be a reason. Because I mean, like you're coming back, you're being rushed back to play in you coming back to play real competition, and that kind of takes a toll on the recovery process. So personally, I mean, I don't think if you're asking me, I personally don't think he should have came back just yet. I mean, I'm happy that he is, but
Mark.
But yeah, no, smoking on the Bucs. Yeah, no,
yeah. Oh yeah, Mark be rolling up, man. Tell him, you know what's going on.
Yeah,
it was so nice. We had to get it twice.
No, that's real. That's real, man. Yeah, but no, I just think, it takes. I don't know. It just, when you come back and you're playing a great team in Tampa Bay, it would be different if we played Carolina again, or a weaker team. But I don't know. I'm going in circles, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely get you, man.
Or Falcons.
Hey,
go ahead, Chris.
No,
I was gonna say Falcons. I was gonna say Falcons in a good situation right now, man. 4-0 in their division. I mean, you look at the rest of their schedule right now. There's some guaranteed wins. And I'm talking about two of them right now are the Falcons. I mean, not the Falcons, but the Saints and the Panthers. Yeah. So with that being said, you're looking at undefeated in your division. So I think this game, I know we get mad about that pass rush, but like me as a Falcons fan, I know you guys, you all the older vets in this vid right now, I know you guys have gone through a way worse as a Falcons fan, but I haven't seen my Falcons in the playoffs in a minute, right? So just seeing the Giants left on the schedule, seeing the Raiders, which the Raiders are no step over, but I mean, you're looking at 9 wins right there. Wins that four wins left on your schedule that are guaranteed that you should win. But
right.
Anything can happen. But I just think this win today is very, very good for the Falcons, even with the negatives that we've seen today.
Anything can happen. The Browns beat the Ravens today, and the game that
I did not see that happen. I did not see that happening. The Browns beating the Ravens, especially after the Ravens just came off of that Monday night, thriller. But just like how it could have affected the Bucs in a similar situation, putting up all those points on that Monday night may have affected the Ravens a little bit, going against a physical team in the division. So
No, they overlooked it. They overlooked the Browns because they were 1-6.
Kind of like how we did.
How they were playing. Yeah, pretty much same thing. Yeah.
And if there is a fire sale in Cleveland, this victory, I hope it does not put, I hope it doesn't put no hope into the Cleveland faithful's heart, because they should be in sell mode and give us a Darius.
It's funny because it's like what was previously said. Like the Ravens overlook the Browns. Like the Ravens overlooking the Browns is like the Michigan Wolverines overlooking TCU, because they were waiting to play Georgia, after they destroyed them the year prior. And it's like y'all not looking at the team that's in front of you. And people forget, like, I mean, I know it's Jameis Winston, and he's been in the league for 10 years, and he wasn't the Florida State Jameis Winston, but Jameis Winston was no scrub. Like, I'm not surprised. Did y'all see his pregame interview when the reporter was asking him questions? Every answer he had was religious, like it was Christianity centered. And I'm like, he looked like he on a mission for real. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't we have a great team. Yeah, we have a great coaching staff. This man said, I love Jesus. And I'm
we know he got talent, because he threw for 5,000 yards as a Buccaneer and 30 touchdowns. Exactly. So he got talent. He just has to find the right situation. And trust me, the Raiders should have called him before anybody. I would have never put my trust in God to miss you. I'm gonna just keep it honest with y'all.
No Minshew mania? No stash?
This is a
Hell no.
fantastic question right here by Hucklebuck71. Shout out to you, was in my live stream earlier as well.
Hucklebuck,
When are we
what it
going to
do?
begin? When are we going to begin to question Raheem's ability to have this team mentally
boy, that's
prepared weekly?
awesome
Because
question.
I said this shit last week. I said the Falcons loss versus the Seahawks screams the overconfidence in Raheem's coaching ability. That's the reason why we lost against the Seahawks. We had no business losing against the Seahawks. No business whatsoever. So that ties into this question here. You have to. Thus far, what has the Falcons shown us, man? Really? They've been an undisciplined team, unfortunately, right? Today, 3 flags? Last week was 9? Come on, man. Oh, come on, man.
Right.
Yeah, and if you think about it, mentally, that shows with the defense, because as I told y'all before the season started, Raheem would put his fingerprint on his team, every single position room, offense and defense. We know defense is his calling, and the defense mentally does not seem like it's there. The offense is there, and that's because of what we have in Zach Robinson. That's not because of Raheem Morris. Yeah, Raheem Morris coached offense before, but his footprint and his blueprint is going to be on defense. So does that mean that Raheem Morris is the reason why Jimmy Lake is not, catching on? It could be. So again, this is why I said you got to talk to Jerry Gray and see what the hell is going on. He is the veteran in that defensive coaching staff. He is the veteran.
Right.
So you got to pick his brain on how we can better this thing. Because if Raheem Morris can't get out his own way and they still stuck in that friend zone, it's gonna be a problem at the end of the day.
Bro, I'm telling you, that's what it's going to be. And again, Cam, I hope I'm wrong. Mark, Berto, Smitty, I hope I'm wrong, but you got to understand and remember this too. Outside of last week against the Seahawks, in the second half, the Falcons defense always have gotten better. 17 points in the first half. Second half, they only scored 9. So at the end of the day, they still gonna let Jimmy work his magic, because outside of the Seahawks game, the Falcons defense in the second half really not giving up points like that. So that's something else that I want you guys to remember too. It's almost like, okay, that's not bad. We're gonna go ahead and continue to let you cook, because second half it is what it is. Outside of the Seahawks game.
At some point, Chris, you have to show that consistently from quarter 1 to quarter 4, man.
Yeah,
I completely agree, bro.
You know what I mean? We can't hang our hat on that, obviously, turning out to our benefit and shutting down. What are we gonna do when the Lions trot into town, and in offense that's explosive from period 1 to 4 all the way down to the end of it, man? Can this Falcons sustain? Can this Falcons keep up? It's gonna be tough, man. They got to figure shit out, man. We're about halfway through the year already. By now, the Falcons should have a clear-cut identity on defense, and we're struggling to find out who we are as a defense still. And that's just
honestly, do they have one on offense?
They have more of an identity on offense than they do on defense. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
What y'all feel like their identity on offense is?
A balanced
run and
offense.
shoot.
It's more balanced now than what it was.
Like, for real.
I can agree with that. But honestly, I'll be honest with y'all. If they stick to be on the run first team, I think it'll carry them further. Because
I agree with that.
Because they would be able to control the clock. That would keep that bad defense off the field, and it would keep them fresh. And if it keeps them fresh, I think they make more plays, because y'all got to think, man, that first half, I think it was the second drive of the game, they had the ball for 8 minutes. You cannot win football games like that. And I told my boy Ryan while we were watching the game, I said, by the third quarter, this shit gonna be gas. Because if you think about 8 minutes in the first quarter, and you ain't even know it in halftime, if that keeps going on and they keep running the ball like they were, I think the Falcons would have been gassed by the third quarter. So shout out to them for switching it up and slowing down that run game, because I knew they were going to try to attack the Falcons run game because it's their weakness. So, they did adjust to that. But at the same time, man, you got to, and again, I feel like the Falcons, man, they could have jumped out to a very fast lead, but they too conservative at certain points of the game, and they got to stop that, man.
Everybody
put
asks,
your foot on it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, everybody talks about the get right game and stuff like that. Okay, here was another opportunity for you to get right. Tampa Bay comes into town really reeling, 2 All-Pro wide receivers away. One of their main running backs was out. This would have been the opportunity here for Jimmy Lake to really step up to the plate and say, all right, listen, we're gonna make Baker, we're gonna make this offense one-dimensional. We're gonna force Baker to beat us, and then draw the defense from that. What may have you, but it just hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. It's a great thing, sure, that he adjusts in the third and the fourth quarter, but again, it goes back to what I was saying, man. You have to sustain that from quarter 1 to quarter 4. You can't rely on that shit all the time.
Yeah. I just seen a comment in the chat said, "Bro, are we 3 or 5 or 5 and 3?" Like, I get what you're saying. Like, there's a lot of negativity coming out, but like, there's also a reality check, and the reality check is, we don't have a pass rush. There's a lot of inconsistency that we're seeing, and then we're talking playoff football. Here's the thing. You play this type of football against, like Berto just said, the Lions. Are you going to win a game like that? Are you going to win a game like that? Like, I love Smitty's take right there with honestly controlling the clock. What about, think about this. What if we control the clock better in the first quarter? Okay, think about this, all right? Because our defense is giving up a lot of points in the first half. What if our offense takes it to a way where we are honestly just having long drives, still scoring points, because hey, we do love our quick touchdowns. I do love that Kyle Pitts long touchdown pass. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But we got to help the defense out because they've just been terrible in the first half. So, there's negativity, but we're also happy, but there's also a reality check at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. It's just, pointing out the things that we can work on, because as Falcon fans, we don't have that luxury to just be like, oh, everything will be fine, because we've had that thoughts before and it hasn't been. Again, I'll say it over and over again until it fixes, or until we improve it. I don't want to be a bend but don't break defense and break at the wrong times. Last week was a preview of that.
We broke last week.
There's definitely things that we need to improve upon. However, hey, I will admit the Falcons 4-0 in the division, set up nice. We're set up nice. All we got to do is continue just to stack wins now. Stack wins, because your division is pretty much kind of shot. You got the Bucs. They got 2 tough games coming ahead of you. You got the Cowboys. You got to take care of business. You have the Aints. You have to take care of business against them. You take care of your business. Everything else will work itself out. Teams are going to lose games. You just got to keep stacking wins. That's what I want the Falcons to do. And I'm happy that we won this game. Went into somebody else's trap, walk in the trap and take over your trap. That's cool. That's wonderful. Let's continue to build on that. We're coming back home against a reeling Cowboys team who are going to be desperate to try to get off the schneid. Let's not do that again, okay? Let's
just walk into another Seahawks situation. Yeah. That's a team that was coming off back-to-back 3 losses in a row. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yep. Antonio Holloway says Brandon Dorless must still play for Oregon on Saturday.
And listen.
That's cold.
Hey,
but listen, man. It's we at the 45-minute mark of the show. We're gonna open up the chat for just a minute. So please be courteous of time, because we got 5 people guest hosting today. Well, 2 people guest hosting today. So just try to keep your comments short. Come in, tell us what y'all thought about the game, and tell us how we can get better.
Link is in the chat.
Hey, man.
Everyone is welcome here. This is a safe space.
Another shout out. I got to give a shout out to Darnell Mooney, man.
Oh, yeah. That connection.
Darnell, like, honestly,
yes, sir. Money is
we haven't had a luxury to where we have an offense to where our main guy, our number 1 receiver, can have less than 40 yards and we still win the game. So Darnell with 92, Kyle with 91, even Bijan had 37. Then you get to Drake London, who had 4 catches for 34 yards, and we still win the game. That's something to hang your hat on. I'm sorry. That's still something to hang your hat on. We haven't had that before.
Terry Fontenot has some decisions he's gonna have to make this offseason. Because if anybody is seeing the resurgence of Darnell Mooney and Drake London and the receiving core for this team, is everybody in the NFL. So he got some decisions he's gonna need to make for real.
Just
agree.
Just the
DA,
Fields
what's up, man?
Career, bro.
What's going on with you, fellas?
What's going on?
Come on, talk to me quick.
Family.
Hey, first of all, before Birdo, Birdo will go off on you quick. Birdo, I'm sorry I ain't been on, man, the last couple.
Yeah, we had something for you, DA.
I thought I was the most humble host, second to Aaron Freeman. Damn it.
Hey, man, y'all guys.
I'm the most humble one on the panel. Everybody knows that.
Oh, man.
I call Chris Mr. Smooth, man. Hey, Smitty, Smitty gonna be Smitty regardless.
Got a good teacher. His name is Smooth Smitty.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say, man, first of all, I'm gonna be quick. I just want to say, man, the reason why I love the 95 North Sports Talk Show, because even though everybody's upset about what's going on with the defense and the problems that we face as fans, well, the Falcons as a team face as an organization, I love the fact that you guys still show respect towards our team, even when we're talking about the ups and downs of the team, the things that need to be corrected. You can also find the positives on this show too. So I appreciate being able to have this show every week post game, and throughout the week, I'm always gonna tune in. But for the most part with the team, man, I'm happy that we're 5-3 right now. And the biggest thing for me at this point in the season, as my brother up top mentioned, there's a big difference. I mean, I know 4-4 is a 1-game difference, but I want to see if at this point in the season, we go back to the last 2 seasons, we go into this week 4-4, getting ready to be 4-5. So I love the fact to see that after 8 games in the schedule that we've had, starting from, Pittsburgh, who's arguably probably the best defense over the last 2 decades. Anybody can argue that fact. But for them to be 5-8 after, this stretch of games, playing Tampa twice in a month, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But truth be told, I do believe this. The defense definitely has a lot of issues. I was kind of upset about, how Jimmy Lake got the corners playing 8 yards off, backed up.
Oh, Lord.
I'll say this, though, Chris. Let me say this, though. I would rather us play back, right? Because, man, we can play, and we play up. We're known for getting the top of our defense knocked off. We're known for that. So I think that this could be a situation where they just want to say, you know what, we want to keep our guys from getting beat deep. And they're in a situation with whatever they're trying to do defensively. Okay, we'd rather give up yards than points. All right, and eventually, like you guys said, in the playoffs, that's not gonna work. I mean, I don't see us being a Detroit Lion team who's probably the best offensive force in the league right now. But we could be in a situation where, and I do believe this, though. I will say this last thing. With having Jimmy Lake, Jerry Gray, and Raheem Morris, with those 3 minds, they're going to figure out something going forward. They have a good problem right now because with all the problems you have, you're winning games. You're finding ways to win football.
Oh, DA don't went through the tunnel.
What just happened?
Yeah, you back.
Yeah. Last thing, I'm just say, I'm gonna get off. I promise. But I do believe that once these 3 guys get together and put their defensive minds together, I think that this could be a good thing going towards the end of the season and playoffs. The reason why, because what are there things that they're just not showing right now? That could be a situation. I don't think this is Jimmy Lake's defense. I do. Yeah. So
I like that perspective, DA.
I agree. I agree with that perspective.
Yeah. Will, what you got? Well, we I think DA dropped off. What you got?
Man, he hit the nail on the point, man. Obviously, man, we just got to be more consistent on offense. Zach Robinson, I know he did some things, some created some good plays, but we got to start doing screens with Mooney, man, because teams know that we like to do that a lot. So we just got to feed the hot hand. Sometimes we got to give Tyler Algier some snaps because Bijan Robinson, he got banged up in his knee a little bit. Overall, the defense, we got to change up that scheme up a little bit. Let them play press coverage, man, corner blitz, cover 6, cover 4. You got to be creative, man. Overall, we just need more turnovers on defense, get to the quarterback, and offense. We need to score points early and play for 60 minutes. That's all we got to play continuity football. If we do that, we be fine. But we got to take care of business against Dallas because I hope Raheem Morris did not take Dallas Cowboys lightly. If they lose against the 49ers, they're going to want to come prepare and play us. So we better be our P's and Q's next week Sunday. But overall, man, like I said, as long as we stay healthy, the sky's the limit for the team.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
Let me just clear this up right quick, man. Aaron Freeman is what we all young podcasters aspire to be one day, man. Aaron Freeman is the fucking GOAT in space.
Hey, man.
None of us are touching Aaron, bro. Aaron is the man.
I ain't even finna put my self in that category. Aaron is the man. And we're gonna have him on the show soon. We're gonna try to get him on the show soon. So
the most humble host. Yeah, man. Absolutely. I
appreciate you, Will.
Like
brother.
Well,
we got Winston Thornton in the back. There he is. Winston, what's happening, bro?
Tell us who did and who didn't pass the eye test, please, Mr. Winston.
Yo, he's a dickhead. Yo, Winston, go ahead and tell us.
First and foremost, thank y'all for having me on here, man. Enjoy y'all content. Y'all have some of the greatest content, Falcon content you ever find around. Everybody that is not subscribe, go back in time, look at other posters that they made, hit the like button, run on the comment, show them all the love all the time, man. Hey, what they do is dope as hell. I'm trying to tell you. But for the eye test, I'm sitting there. Zach Robinson, he's growing on. I remember back week 1, man, it was tough sledding. I had to go cry to the old lady about that one. She was like, "Baby, it's gonna be okay. Baby, it's gonna be okay." But look,
hey.
I mean, yeah, you know how to go. But look, defense, Jimmy Lake, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. You have to understand the personnel. This is Jimmy Lake and Fondo fault. Tell you this. Because Fondo knew for a fact when we brought in Jimmy Lake, hey, we're going to a 3-4 defense. All right. If that's the case, I need to draft accordingly. I need to put bigger bodies out there.
Hello.
We draft nothing but 4-3 personnel, which is crazy when we was already loaded up with 4-3 personnel.
What I say earlier, Smitty.
Yeah, you've been saying that. Yeah, Chris been saying that for a minute. That personnel ain't right.
I've been saying this. Draft happened. The personnel is not right. People like, well, why not? Look, I'm an Oregon Duck fan in college. Pac-12. We just moved to the Big Ten. Pac-12. Jimmy Lake came from Washington.
Yeah.
He ran a 3-4, 4-3 hybrid. All right. So I already know what type of time he was on. That's why I won't surprise when we got Kevin King. I figured that was going to end up happening. You know what I'm saying? Now, over top of that, though, you have to look at your personnel. And I sat there and said beforehand, I said, watch, if Jesse Bates or Justin Simmons go down, this defense gonna get exposed for exactly what it really is. Why? Because they keep the cap on the top of the defense. You have to understand your personnel. Our corner, every corner that we have are man corner.
Yeah.
But we don't run man. You know why we don't run man?
We run zone. Yeah.
We have to run the zone. Because our front seven is too light to run a 3-4, which we keep trying to do. It does not make sense. The definition of insanity is sitting there trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You got undersized defensive linemen playing not gap responsibility, but gap and a half responsibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why they keep getting washed and run fits.
That's why I see it early in the show, Winston. That's exactly why I see it early in the show. You got to come up with a plan to better scheme for the players that you do have. Because if you can run a hybrid 4-3 and it starts to work, and then you can rotate back and forth and make plays with both schemes, then you working with something. But if you keep running with the same thing and you keep wishing on the hope and the prayer, it's gonna bite you in the ass eventually, just like somebody said in the chat. So yeah, they just got to do something, man. Something.
And Winston, you made a good point. You talked when I was gasping, I was like, he mentioned Fontenot, and I was gonna ask y'all a question. How much is Terry? I know we talking about Jimmy Lake, we talking about Raheem, we talking about Zach. Mm-hmm. How much does Terry Fontenot get? Like, how much of the blame is he going to get if this does not work?
He's number 2. Jimmy Lake is number 1 for me. You know, just because going back to the points that Winston is making. I mean, you already know what type of time you really on, but it's also on Terry right there with them, because you supposed to know exactly what personnel to get, and you supposed to flip over this lineup, but we have not, and we be getting gashed at times at the wrong times. So Terry's right there, somebody who does not have an extension yet, by the way. So
he better get it together if he want another one.
Yeah, let me add this too. All right, so this is Terry's 4th season, right? This is Terry's 4th season. Now we went and got our quarterback back at the start of free agency. We brought in our coaching staff early. Everybody was in place early, so you already knew what you had. Y'all already said it and discussed in the interview process. Hey, look. This is what I want to implement. This is what I want to run. This is how I look for our team to look. This is going to be our motto. This is going to be our slogan. This is going to be our mantra. That's already in place before the draft. And when the draft comes along, you decided to draft nothing but 4-3 players that can't get on the field. Root just got on the field 4 weeks ago, and then he hurt. Doyle has been a healthy scratch all season long. Bertrand is...
You got to factor in too, Winston. Braylon Trice, like we talked about earlier, that was one of Jimmy Lake's guys from Washington. That is the reason why they drafted him. He was supposed to be part of the solution. Yeah, by him getting hurt, that messed up the equation. So now, with your main guy, your rookie guy, that you feel like can come in and do the job that you want, that you have coached before, that can help you. Now you got younger guys who've been in the NFL with 2-3 years. They got to get comfortable with your coaching style, your philosophy, your scheme. So they've got to go back to the drawing board as far as personnel. And like I said earlier in the show too, when you look at Jimmy Lake saying that about D'Angelo Malone, how can you say that when we still not getting sacks? I mean, just because somebody doesn't perform well on the practice field don't mean they can't play on the NFL field. You got to kill that mindset.
I'm gonna give you another thing. Because like I've watched Trice from when he first came in till he left. Trice is not a high sack output getter. He's not. He's more of a flusher. Now, if he can be your number 1. He can give you a good 5 to 7, 8 a year. He can do that. See what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly what Matthew Judon needs. He needs
a guy to flush
the quarterback the other way. To run dead into him.
Would have ran him right into Judon, and Judon would have had double. They would have met in the middle. No, he would have flushed. He flushed the quarterback straight to Judon. Judon will have double-digit sacks, but Judon will have more one-on-one actual opportunity to go rush on the passer instead of this little stagnant half step. Because he's looking like Vic Beasley right now.
Dude, he's playing with no burst.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying,
you can't clown Beasley though. Come on now, you can't clown Beasley all the time, because he's the last person to have 8 sacks in the season for the Falcons.
I know he's not talking about that year. He's talking about that.
I'm not knocking Beasley. What I'm saying is, like, all right, so after the 2016 season, that 2017 when somebody touched Beasley, you're like, all right, brother, you got it, bro. It's all right. We can shake hands after that. All right, what's going on? Oh, the ball going over there. All right, man. Hey, man, good job. I see you in this on play. Like, no, that's what Judon doing. He's running into a wall and he just standing put. The effort is gone. The heart is going out of him because he know what he is. Judon is a power rusher. He's not a finesse rusher. He's not a speed rusher. You got a man like 275. He's a power rusher. So you got to put him in an optimal position. But what's taken away from Judon is we don't have a legitimate 3-4 defensive tackle. We don't have
that forever.
3-4 middle linebacker. We don't have it. Everybody's playing out of position because we have 4-3 personnel in the front seven.
Right. We do. I mean, we do. That just
I
is
got at
what
the
it
top
is.
of the stream, man. If we're gonna do anything, man, we gotta scrap this 3-4 alignment. We gotta run that 4-3, man. That's the personnel that we have, man.
And I see that coming. Once we
It
get
would
to the
help
battle,
us dominate games more. You know, like these games are being too.
Carolina. We tried it against Carolina. We tried to play more 4-3 against Carolina. It wasn't really working effective. But I mean, on a 1 week, practice period, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna take a little bit of time to morph back into a 4-3. But I see that after that battle, I see that becoming more of a pivot for it.
It's gonna have to be, man. It's gonna have to be.
I ain't gonna hold up y'all channel. I thank y'all fellas for
you good, bro. Always, man. Thank you.
Hey, man, throw out the predictions, man. Tell them where to find you.
Oh, man. Hey, look. Y'all can catch us on YouTube and on Facebook. Me and my brother John Harris, Facebook and YouTube channel the same. VITech. We be on Wednesday night at 10 p.m. We're gonna start off with Falcons football. We're gonna go on down that football road, and where we end up in the conversation, ain't no telling. The GPS cut off after a while.
True.
Yeah,
fun all John, the damn show gonna cut off.
Yeah, man, that's
my dude.
John, I don't know what yet.
I know where he at Magic City. That way yet.
He might be. I ain't heard from him today. He might be
in the recliner. That's where he is.
I pulled it up in the back of the Camaro. Sure enough.
Facts.
Right.
But I appreciate y'all fellas, man. Y'all have a good one. I'm still tuning in. I'll be in the channel, in the chat. And I did see somebody that Adam tweeted that we traded for Harold Landry. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't looked it up yet. But
we'll see.
We traded for Harold Landry.
We'll see. That would be a great move, but we'll see.
I mean, but fellas,
I'm on it right now. Hold on. I got a little pull.
Hold
on. Man. Come on, NIL. Get it together.
Don't tell me that.
If y'all didn't know, Berto got his photo on College Football 25, so y'all go check it out.
Oh, that's.
I got to download that to the show.
Damn you, Jack Spade.
Yep, that's all Jack's fault. He started it.
What'd you find, Berto? Is there some truth to it?
I don't see nothing.
ECU said you was spot on, Winston.
Hey man, I appreciate it,
the
man.
Chiefs is probably the possibility.
That's why the show called the eye test.
No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet with the Harold Landry situation.
If something do come up, y'all know we're gonna keep y'all posted.
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. We may have to go back live again. We trade for a pass rusher. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, I'd be on all
coming back at you.
Hey man, I tried the phone up. I tried the tablet up and the computer. I hop back on.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Y'all have a good one, man.
No doubt, my brother.
Alexander 36-641, man. 4-0 in the division. People still unhappy. 1 conference loss. What do you guys say?
Man,
unhappy?
I ain't gonna lie.
We go with this bullshit.
I'm happy.
Again. Listen,
I'm happy as hell that we have this record. But guess what, young man? When the fuck was it the last time we won anything significant? It's been 7 or 8 years. Gotta hold back, man.
I'm cheesing today.
Let me just say this right quick. I hate when y'all do that. Y'all find out to tell us we complaining. No, we still up telling y'all what we still see that's wrong. You don't supposed to accept the win for what it is. You still supposed to pick through a win, even in the loss, we're gonna pick through it. Even in the win, we're gonna pick through it. Think about this. And Chris was there, Berto was there last year, 2-0. I told y'all about Desmond Ritter. I got chewed out about it. I didn't go off, I didn't get disrespectful. I just sat back just like this and said, just wait, because it's gonna happen. And that's the thing. I know we up in the conference. Whoop-de-doo. Think about it, 5-3. But also look at a team like Arizona, a sneaky team, who was now up to 4-4. They're getting their shit together, so we have to get our shit together. That's all we saying. And you have to keep your shit together, because if you don't, like somebody said in the chat, it's gonna bite you in the ass. So we gonna tell y'all when we see something wrong, no matter if we win or lose. That's just sports. That's just a state of an opinion. I love to win, but I still want a better team. Just that simple.
That's
I mean, you looking at
version of yourself.
Go ahead, Cam.
We're
Go
not
ahead,
that
Cam.
version of ourselves.
No.
Right.
I was gonna. I agree with you, Smitty. I mean, I think a lot of times people, you know, and I got chewed out, you know, about the defense, you know, against Carolina, and I said Terry Fontenot played, you know, Terry Fontenot catfished me because when he brought in Judon, I'm thinking like, oh wow, this is a. You know,
hey, I seen that video.
Me too.
like we here, you know. But it's like it's not that we're not happy, and respectfully, like we are sincerely proud that the Falcons are a lot better than what they were a year ago. But I do think when you think about different, appreciate it, DA. When you think about the championship contenders, what's the one common denominator? When you see Patrick Mahomes at a press conference, what's one thing he's always saying? Trying to get better, trying to get better, trying to get better. And these players and these coaches, when they sell their players about getting better each week, getting better every single week, that's why they win multiple championships. That's why they have different, you know, deep playoff runs. And I'm gonna be real, I hate being complacent. I'm the type of guy I will enjoy the win. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, I'm a fan. I would love to enjoy the win, but I do think there's always a point in time where I don't know. Maybe I'm the type of guy that like puts myself in a coach's shoes or a player's shoes and like, okay, well, we were up 31-17. We had a safety. Then they came back and scored. What can we do better to prohibit that in the future? So there's always, you know, there's always ways to stack wins, but there's always ways to improve every
shout out to Darnell Mooney on that play again, knocking it out the end zone.
Smitty and Berto. I got to bounce after this, but I want to hit on that statement right here, what Dre just said.
Yeah.
I mean, I got 2016 on right now, boys. If y'all see it right now, I got Julio jersey. Like we talking about being complacent right now. When's the last time the Falcons were complacent? We can go back a couple weeks ago. I mean, last week when we played the Seahawks. Absolutely. And we were sitting right here talking about the same situation. If Kirko threw 509 against the Bucs, we were screaming ATL ho and the whole at the stadium. I was there. Me and my girl was at the stadium screaming it. Right? You got the Panthers. We come win by 18 points. We all happy. We all cheesing. But then the next week we get complacent and then we get smacked by the Seahawks, who lost 3 straight games. So yeah, there's reasons why we're here talking about things that we need to improve on. Like that's what Smitty and Berto are gonna do. Chris, I already know you're gonna do that, brother. And Cam, I already figured out about you today. So that's what we're gonna do today, guys. And hey, I appreciate what Smitty and Berto do. I love y'all show, man. And yeah, man, appreciate y'all for letting me be on the show.
Anytime, kid. You know what it is, man. Just hit us up and you got it.
Yes, sir.
Where them folks can find you though?
Absolutely. Yeah, right.
Hit me up on subscribe to me on YouTube. We're also on Instagram, TikTok, and it's a Southern Spotlight show. So look us up.
Gotcha.
Appreciate it, Martin, man.
All right, brother.
And that's another thing too, man. We can't act like we're a franchise that just had or are just coming off a winning season. We haven't had that in 7 years, man. So hell yeah, things are going great, but there is room for improvement, as Cameron was saying. You hear guys like Pat Mahomes and other greats in the league. Hey, we got to find ways to get better. And they hark on that and they live by that. Falcons have to do the same thing today. Falcons have to do the same thing going forward. Go ahead, bro.
And I also want to shout out DA. He said something, or he put it in the chat before he cut out about, you know, maybe this is by design, right? Like maybe I said I want to. Was it their loss against? It may have been their loss against Kansas City, or it may have been their loss. I don't know. I don't remember which game I said it in, but I said maybe God put Kirk here for a reason. Maybe this is the defense that God wants us to be like. Okay, look, we know that yes, our offense is good, but it takes both sides of the ball to win a championship. And as we see in basketball, right? When you see these Hall of Fame head coaches, they'll be the people to tell you offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And so I just think, you know, when it comes down to it, maybe this is by design, you know. And I said in my previous TikTok, I said I will give this man to week 16. If I was the guy that told people to be patient about Zach Robinson after their loss to Pittsburgh, right? And they lost to Kansas City, right? So they were 1-2 in their first 3 games. If I'm telling them we need to be patient with them, maybe we should be patient with the defense. But that does not negate that, we need to hold the defense accountable. You know what I'm saying? Specifically with the talent that we are very fortunate to have. I would rather have our secondary be more reliable than our D-line, which is more than what teams like Carolina and Dallas can say. You know what I'm saying? Even Tampa Bay. Right. And y'all seen Tampa Bay secondary. Their secondary is hot dog water. I shouldn't say that. We want to be respectful. We want to be respectful.
No, you good, bro.
I would put our secondary up against anybody, against any team, regardless. Right. So at the end of the day, I just think it's important to put things in the proper perspective.
Indeed.
Facts.
Indeed, brother. I can't even lie. I mean, we got to put it in perspective, man. At the end of the day, we're still 5-3, top of the division. The rest of the NFC South is mad. Everybody talking about, Falcons, y'all ain't gonna do nothing and all that good stuff. You're just mad. It's all good. We've took our lumps. Now we're, climbing. We just want to continue to get better. That's all we want to do. Is always about being your best version. And as crazy as it may sound, I still feel like the Falcons haven't played their best game of the season yet. I've seen little clips, little images, glimpses, all that stuff. But we have not played a full 60 minutes yet. We're getting close, though. Hopefully in a minute. Hey, happy birthday, man.
Yeah, shout out my guy, Jay Diaz, man. Good win today on my B-Day, man. Happy birthday to you, bro. Absolutely.
Well, that birthday cake going to taste like the best thing ever.
Yeah, man. But, man, we up. We got to get up out of here, man. We've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes, man. Got to thank Cameron Farmer for coming on, man. Go Time Production Company, man. Make sure you go follow him on TikTok and on who am I to say this? Cameron, the floor is yours, my friend. Please push your socials and allow the folks to tap in wherever you're at.
Yeah. No, again, Berto, Smitty, Tip, I appreciate y'all, man, for and shout out Mark as well. I appreciate you guys for allowing me to be on. This is my first time on the show, but I could just
won't be the last.
I could just for sure. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I can tell the culture that you all have built with with the fan base of Atlanta, and you guys have been our trusted. I've tuned in to your live shows before, and just the feedback that you guys have received, whether you all are critiquing the Atlanta's play and just giving them flowers when it's due, man. I love that, and I just think that's what sports media should be about. You know what I mean? Obviously, we have confidence in our team and believe that our team can compete with the best of the best. But I do like how you all have been, your critiques and the manner that you critique. It's not a shouting match or anything. So yeah,
you got to keep it cool.
Big ups to Raw for the 5-3 start. Let's keep it up. Absolutely. And Michael said congratulations to Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts had his best game of the season, probably of his career, to be honest with you. So yeah, man. But at the end of the day, y'all can find me on my socials. My Instagram is GoTimePC. That's GoTimePC. My TikTok is GoTimeTV. So that's GoTimeTV for TikTok and GoTimePC for Instagram. So I appreciate you guys, man.
Let me tell you this before you get out, Cam.
Yes, sir.
You guys start a YouTube channel, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's time.
It's funny. I do have a YouTube channel. I haven't
reach out to me. I got you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's do something, man.
Yeah.
Put something in the pot.
But go on and finish right quick.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say
we got to quit pop in, but go ahead.
I do have a YouTube channel. It's literally Go Time Production Co. Literally with this emblem right here with the stopwatch. The reason why I stopped doing long form videos, particularly pertaining to the Falcons, is because I would shorten those videos and put them in the reel. So what y'all see in the TikTok and what y'all see on the reel, that's literally a summarization of the entire video. So I didn't want to put the entire video and TikTok and the reel, and I'm just like, I don't want to do all that work. But I appreciate you guys. I am gonna start that up very, very soon. So I appreciate y'all more than you know.
Hey man, come on back, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, we got a friend of the family in the building, man.
Yes,
He
sir.
always keeping it real.
What up,
Hey,
man?
man,
That's fucking the background. He was
story.
cheesy. I was like, man, look at
Hey.
this ass cheesy.
Hey man, hey man, I'm bouncing. Hey dog, I'm bouncing back like a damn refund check at a HBCU, baby. You know how we get down with it. All my folks that's HBCU grads know what it is when you get that late ass refund check. But you know what? I'm just like I'ma come through. But damn it, we listen. I had to be professional. You know, the day was just one of those days, but I had to let it a little loose. But I'll say this. With all the stuff that we got going on that can be fixed, and it's a lot of problems we have, we could also have the problem of not having any wins. Understand where we were last season. Understand what we dealt with last season. Just remember the days of watching Desmond Ridder turn over games. Remember the days of excuse me. Let me go ahead and get the name straight. Mr. Marcus Mariota lying supine, for my medical students out there, lying supine on the ground and throwing passes in the rain. So at the end of the day, we're 4-0 in the division. And I'll tell you the honest to God truth. It's a good feeling that now we have everything locked up in this division, by the way. You know, like I said, all we have to do is win one. Really, I want to sweep the division, if you want to be honest. I want to sweep the division. My goal was that. And you guys heard me say it on my show, and I came in here and said it. Now we have a real shot to do it because of the fact that the Aints got injuries. The Panthers are still trying to figure out their quarterback situation. What we have to do, Jimmy Lake has to prepare a little bit better. No questions about it. Because if you don't prepare at this point, it's time for your monkey ass to get the hell up out of here.
Facts.
And my thing is, normally I'm very professional, but I'm a fan today coming up in here. Absolutely. I'm not just a content creator. I'm a bit of a fan today. So y'all are seeing the fan side of me come out. The delusion that I have is this. We host a home playoff game. We get to the division. We get past the divisional round. We get to the NFC Championship game. No one is going to give us a chance because let's be real. The best team in the NFL ain't Kansas City just because of the record. I'm gonna tell you who the best team in the NFL is. It's Detroit.
Yep.
And right behind, and here's the thing, and right behind Detroit, you have Minnesota, who we have to face, who has just as potent of an offense as we have. Let's be real. When you're playing against either one of those teams, it's pretty much like lighting a barrel of dynamite. It's gonna go off at any time. You could slow them down, but you're not gonna stop them. So
the thing is, they lost their best player in Aiden Hutchinson, and they still put up 52 points.
Still trucking.
Exactly.
And they still looking for a pass rusher. That's the crazy thing.
And here's the crazy part. Atlanta's got to get a bit of a pass rusher. I know people been hard on Judon and everything else. I get it, but Judon's a one-man band. Grady ain't 100%. He's not able to help because there was a couple of plays he should have made in the backfield today that he normally makes. He's not 100%. So if anybody's ever played ball, dealt with injuries before, anybody that's ever played a sport, high school, collegiate, even some semi-pro folks or guys that were at the top, let's just be honest with this here. If you've dealt with a major injury that's career-ending or it's to the point to where you got to learn how to walk, run, and do all that stuff again, it takes a year mentally to really get back on it. So y'all got to understand, Grady might physically be there, but mentally he's not in that place to be a destructive force is what we're used to. So at this point, we've got to find somebody. All I can say, I'll say this. We got to find out what we have with Dorless before we try to make any moves happen in this trade deadline.
Yeah.
I think you need to let the kid play in this Dallas game. I know he's limited with what he knows, but you got to let him play and then possibly go get somebody. So we're at a point where we're at the top of the food chain in the division. Let's not be the bounce back game for Dallas. Let's put them out of their misery, shut their fans up, and then continue this march through the NFC South. And let's finish out this season healthy, and let's get to the playoffs, and let's get these. Look. Why the hell not us? Let's get a trophy.
Amen.
That's where I'm at with it, dog. I know I'm a little bit delusional, but you know what? Every once in a while, you got to let your imagination run. That's the part of life. Dreams dreams are always good to have if you're putting the work towards it. So that's my word of positivity today. Thank y'all for letting me in for a sec, because I know y'all got to wrap up.
Hey man, tell them where to find you,
So
man.
Absolutely,
through,
Ryan.
brother.
y'all can find y'all can find me, myself, and the magnificent Birdcage crew at the Birdcage LLC on Thursdays live 8 p.m. And also we have a pregame show before the Falcons play, hour before every game, and then we also have the party line or the benediction. We've had more party lines than we've had benediction shows this year, and we plan on keeping it that way. And again, we got pop-up shows. So as we say up in the cage, man, you either get right or you get left. Thank y'all for having me here. So we getting this shit right so these boys can be left.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
God damn it. That's our brother Brian, the historian, man.
That's how you end the show right there, man.
Falcons.
That's how you end the show.
Well, go ahead, Chris, man. Drop the credentials, my friend. Go ahead, sir, Chris.
Hey, man, you can find me on A1 Forever Sports. That's the platform on YouTube, man. I like to thank all my day ones and all my new supporters that's come to the channel now. Definitely just reached over the getting close to 2,100 now on YouTube. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I'm thankful. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Me soon.
And, but Twitter, Instagram, A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok. I drop little videos, funny videos here and there, some sport clips and all that good stuff like that. So outside of that, man, I appreciate, Cam coming on, Mark coming on, everybody came in for the chat.
You forgot some of the credentials, man. I'm not gonna let you slide with that shit.
What you talking about, man?
I work for CBS. I work for Fox. I also do Fox and I also do CBS. Thank you, Smitty. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Smitty. Yes, I do. I am a freelancer for CBS. I am a freelancer for Fox, and also now Amazon/NBC. And everything like that. I mean, I'm in the basement of all those companies, but at least I'm in the door. So
that dream about to come through, and I want you to know that. That's why I told you that.
I firmly believe that, and I firmly receive that, and I thank each and everybody, sincerely. Thank you, Dixon. Well, hey man, shout out to Larry, man. Larry always, or hit my phone or just hit my comments and everything, just always being supportive. Shout out to you guys too, man, because I seen that y'all been making moves, man. Y'all over like 6,500, so you got to turn.
10K special coming soon.
Yeah,
10K special coming soon.
So yeah, man. Shout out to the Dixon Way, man. Shout out to the Dixon Way.
Outside of that, hold 20.
Hey, just your whole 20, man. I might.
Man.
Nah, but for real, real quick though, I just know we didn't talk about it. And this is gonna be my thing before I pass it on to Cam.
Yeah, he froze. Cam, go ahead and tell everybody where to find you one more time, man, before we get out of here.
Yeah. You guys can find me on Instagram at GoTimePC, and you guys can find me on TikTok at GoTimeTV. And you guys can literally find me on YouTube at GoTime Production Co. That's it. And you got, like I said, once you guys see this emblem, that's me.
And make sure y'all check him out, man. That's how we found him on TikTok. That's becoming a safe haven for Falcon fans. That's where we found Bro Talk. That's where we find Cam. We're on there. Chris is on there. Berto is on there. So, I mean, look, TikTok is coming up for the 95 North Sports crew. But Chris, you got out.
My bad. DA has to be stopped.
Chris just froze like Richie Grant. That's crazy, bro.
That's evil.
That's nasty work, bro.
That's crazy.
Oh,
that's
man.
Nasty work.
Oh,
bro.
shit.
Good Lord.
Oh, boy. You keep the jokes coming, but man, y'all know what to find me, man.
Go ahead. Yeah, there we go. Go ahead, because I got a 10-piece waiting for me downstairs.
Y'all know what it, man. Don't start that chicken shit no more. But look, y'all know where to find me. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. Fatboy Slim _21 on Twitter, man. I keep Twitter on fire, man, because that's what I do. Also catch me on Tuesdays on the NFC South Roundtable. I'm gonna be bragging again this week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And Wednesday, our regular show. We got the Cowboys coming through. So we got a couple of special guests coming through as well. Make sure y'all tune in that. Next Sunday, we'll give y'all our post game right after the game. So look, We got a lot of content on the way. Y'all will see Cam again because him and Mark, they're young up and coming YouTubers, and hey, we like to put out that positive energy and help people grow their channels because God gave us a platform, so we use our platform to help others.
Yes,
just that simple. But Berto, you know what to do, man. Gonna take us out, man.
Yeah, man. Your boy Berto, host of the 95 North Falcons talk show, and your host for the 95 North Sports Machine. I am Berto, like I just mentioned. You can find me on Bleacher Report as well as the official Falcons content creator, man. Put on a show today. I'll tell you right now, that shit was lackluster as ASF. I was pissed, so I couldn't really put too much energy into it, man.
It was about a lackluster Kyle Pitts running to the end zone.
We're not gonna start a whole show on that. We'll touch on that in the preview show. But you gotta save some content. But y'all, man, y'all have your Sunday night back. I'm about to feast on this 10-piece. I'll talk to y'all soon, man. Peace.